Hi, welcome. If you're watching, God bless. The doctor is in and she is here with another book lover club. So I was recording earlier. I mentioned I felt like God was nudging me to go to the bookstore, to Barnes and Noble. So I ended up going and I recorded about it. So maybe I'll like put the clip in this video. But basically, I was saying, like, I was thinking before I went to the store about the kind of things I would be looking at or looking for. I had a specific book in mind and I did kind of take a look at it and I was really close to getting it, but I decided to just hold off. The name of it is called Lower Than Angels, The History of Sex and Christianity. By D.R.D.N, I think, the name of the author. But basically, it looks so interesting, and I'm really like, I'm inching closer and closer to it. Now, before there was a time I went to the bookstore and I was kind of looking for something spicy. I was looking for like a romance novel, fiction, because before that I was inspired by this other book that I was reading. The name of it is Gothicana. Okay. Before that it was A Court of Thorns and Roses. So that book kind of, and I'm familiar with romance novels, you know what I mean, but they're kind of, for me, they're hard to find. And they're the type, like, you're not really looking for them. You know what I mean? And it kind of started out a little bit from the days of, like, Sweet Valley High. I don't know if you remember that book with the twins. But, like, you know, little things like that, like little love stories. And then, you know, yeah. Anyways, so I was looking for something spicy. And I found, you know, a certain kind of book. It's called Beautiful Things. I don't reach too far in it, but how I found that book was the table that it was on kind of mentioned, you know, kind of described what I seemed to be looking for at the time. This time around, honestly, I'm just gonna read the back of the book because when I read it, I was like, that's basically what I'm looking for. So the name of the book is Love After Midnight. It's by Sister Souljah. She's a well-known author for her book The Coldest Winter, and this book is in the sequel, like it's in the series rather. So it's a sequel to another book, but it's, yeah, they're a part of a series. So after suffering a horrifying yet soul-stirring near-death experience, worldwide top bitch Winter Santiago of The Coldest Winter Ever is alive and facing a dilemma that every living person faces: how to respond to the fear of God and awareness of heaven and hell while pursuing and satisfying deep desires for sex, fun, love, money, revenge, and fame. So yeah, you know, they describe the book a bit more, and it wasn't in all those words really what I was looking for, but I was like, wow, that sounds interesting. That is like relatable, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm sure a lot of people can relate. I started the book. The book is great so far. I feel like winter, I mean, I read some of the first book. I didn't finish it. I'm gonna be very honest with you. However, her character is tough. Like, she's tough. I'll leave it at that. Okay, so the next book, and oh, and what I'm using as a bookmark is actually a flyer that was put in my car windshield. I think it's for a church. So yeah, I just thought I'd plug it there. Now, like I said, I was thinking about what I would really want when I go there, because I mentioned before, I go to the bookstore, not often, but I like to go to the bookstore, and I walk around and I look at the different categories of books and the different kind of stuff that they have. So it's not somewhere that I need to go there every single week, because I'm familiar enough with what they have. You get me? But I felt like I was nudged, and I was getting ready to leave basically, and I saw this, and I was like, yeah, thank you, Lord. And then there was a version there that was open that I could see it was in English. So I was like, it's in English and Arabic as well. And I was like, yeah, I need to get it. This is the time. They had others there. This one was really pretty. Listen, this is not my first Quran. I was actually gifted my first Quran with the explanation as well. And, you know, I've been introduced to the Islamic religion in different ways. And the best part is it's the same God. So Allah. It's just another of his many names. That's just so beautiful to me. So, and there's other religions out there that worship God, the same God, and they call him by their name that they call him. And what is unfortunate is that we don't all know all his names, because that would spare a lot of us confusion and a lot of tension between groups, because they think they're worshiping different things. It's kind of like when you and somebody are saying the same thing in different ways and you're arguing about it. Like you guys are not realizing that you're literally on the same team. Anyways, when I was in the hospital, you know, reading my Bible, reading the Quran, like, just, and I mean, I shouldn't really say my Bible, because the Bible was already there, and I left it there because, you know, I'd imagine that it would be there for the next person. But yeah, you know, great principles in both books. And the Bible is basic instructions before leaving Earth. I heard somebody say that was the acronym, and I was like, wow. Anyways, so that's basically what I got. And, you know, when I have Book Lover Club, I don't know if you guys have the books, if you go and buy the books, if you're even watching, if maybe you just look from, if I have a picture of it on the thumbnail or whatever. But, you know, even if you don't read the whole book, or even if you read it in different sections and not in chronological order, like, you can still share in the experience of analyzing and breaking down things according to certain contexts. Pish posh. All right, well, love you. Keep God first. Love always. And until next time, bye. So I was looking through my past videos, like my past posts, and I saw a store that I really like to go to. And the reason I like to go to the store is because it has things that I really like. So anyway, later on I was watching one of my videos and I mentioned how God nudged me to do something. And it had me thinking how God might be nudging me to go to that store, and he presented an opportunity for me to go. So here I am. However, before I got here, I was thinking about like the way how I like the store. I was thinking, however, I go so often that I don't always need to come because I see things, you know what I mean? I'm not frightened for come. Anyways, I'm there thinking to myself, what am I gonna look for when I come? And there was a specific item that I had seen in one of my posts that intrigued me, and I was wondering if I should come back, maybe not to buy the item, but to just kind of look at it more deeply and decide from there. Open to other things as well. So anyways, here I am, and I walk in, and the first stand has an item, and I'm looking at the description of that one. Caught my eye because the person is familiar to me. Like the person who wrote the book is familiar to me. However, there was something else that immediately caught my attention. So I was just looking at some other stuff, and then I eventually said, you know what, let me pick it up and look at it. And I almost put it back because, like I said, I'm familiar with it, so I wasn't really sure if I wanted to go down that road. And I'm reading, and it is the exact thing, basically, probably described more thoroughly, that I was looking for. It's the exact thing I was looking for. And I don't know if when I read the book, it's gonna be like what I'm looking for. It's just kind of like how God works in mysterious ways. So yeah, we could talk about BookLovaClub some more, because that's another reason why I was nudged to come to the store. All right, later. God first, love always. Real quick, I don't remember where the headband is from. Why I even bother press play? The hair is Yummy Hair Extensions. The hoodie is, maybe I could have, I'm not doing all of that. But I went and enough for myself and press play. And you can see. The undershirt is Aeropostale. And I have on bottoms from BB. Okay,